Guys, hello and welcome back to another video, and oh my god, have I got one for you today. So first of all, I want to say sorry for taking such a big kind of break there. Just had work and dealing with other things, but we are back. This is a game that I played yesterday. I've been taking a break from online chess, still going to the chess club and stuff, but taking a break, and yesterday I jumped on for a few bullet games. Just see if I can get my Elo kind of up a wee bit and just kind of see if I still have it. And I did. I went on a nice wee winning streak, and you're going to see one of these games where I have 91% accuracy with the Caro Kann, and oh, it's lovely. Obviously, it's not the best. Well, you can't say it's not the best way to play the Caro Kann, but it depends what your opponent does as well. Now, my opponent himself had 85.5% accuracy, which is extremely high, okay? It is. If you're really good, you're averaging around that 80, probably 70 higher mark. If you're really, really good, obviously this is just going to look like common sense to you. But we're going to have a look at the game. I am playing as black, and here we are. So, as I said, it is a Caro Kann. Start off, and it turns into an advanced variation. I've been coming up a lot more against the advanced than the exchange variation. I get book move, and here is when we go out of book theory. If you do watch me playing the Caro Kann, I do quite like this move, A6. Always to just stop the bishop coming down. If there's a knight here, to stop it being connected and stuff. It takes a lot of pressure off it, and it keeps your knight attacking the center of the board, which is a vital piece when going forward. Again, not all of these are going to be the best moves. A lot of them are. A lot of them are excellent moves as well, but they're not the best. This one, for example, is classed as good. It says C takes D4 is best, but I don't know. I do end up doing that further down the line. Obviously, in the Caro Kann, as soon as you see this knight come out, you pin it. Well, I took one tempo to do this, so it's not immediately pinned to the queen, but it is quite a common move. Then you would start to throw all your pawns on the light squares to make up for the loss of the bishop, which is what happens. Usually you would wait until you're attacked and, you know, kind of develop as normal, but I was like, no, I just want to get straight into it. We'll attack, take in the center, and then put a pawn on the light square. You could have done that in any order. You could have, say for example, you waited, he castled, and you go here, and then it ends up like this. Same position, only they have a pawn out now, so they do. While in the game, oh no, in the game they do not put the pawn out, and we develop as normal. He takes his knight out. Here, what the idea is, when you develop your knight onto the E7 square, you have two ideas depending on the placement of your opponent's squares or opponent's pieces. So clearly you want to go after the center pawn. It's the weakest pawn that they possibly have. And how do they add defenders to it? So they can add a defender with bishop. They can add a defender with, defending with the queen. In a few moves, you know, they could lift the queen and go over and add the rook in as well. But we can get a lot more pieces attacking this pawn faster than our opponent can. So currently, if our opponent came down and defended, we have two attackers, okay? He has two defenders, okay? That being the queen and the bishop would be defending, and our two knights would be attacking. But then we can add the queen here with two threats of attacking in the center, so adding a third attacker and attacking the pawn. So again, this is always a vital move to attack both, and we can always get more attackers than he can get defenders a lot faster. Here he makes a big mistake. This is not a move I've seen before, but I can understand the idea of it. He wants to stop our knight from going out. But right in front of his king is not a good idea. It's really not a good idea at all, because, well, we can just attack that. Now here, the best thing would probably not to take, because if you take, well, yeah, we can't exactly take back, but then we get out, you know, add that pressure. He does push, so connecting the pawns is the best move, but then we just take anyway, okay? And obviously the best move here is to take with a bishop, but he doesn't do that, and he takes with a pawn. This is one of his very few mistakes that he ended up playing, and it was a very costly one. As you've seen, the Elo went from 0.4 for black to 2.1, all for a pawn. So the reason I developed the knight here, and I decided to go out this way, is, well, it helps enable the queen movement out. We could possibly jump in the center here, or we can come out, attack this pawn, okay? So mainly we'll focus on the center pawn. We can attack this pawn with 2 attackers, and then this one becomes weak, and this knight is already attacking the e5 square. But again, he moves his king. Now that's an inaccuracy, it's not actually a mistake. Here the best move says g5, take away a bit more space, it becomes a bit of a target. Force l'en passant as always. But we bring the queen out, okay? So as soon as he moves the king, I'm like, okay, well that's a target, that's very, very easy. What looks like a natural move here for white? To attack the queen, okay? And if we take, then queen takes, and then rook takes, and then, okay, that's all fine. And that's what happens. But this benefits black. Now the reason this benefits black is because of how weak it makes white's king. So, there we go, we trade down, rooks and queens are off the board. Well, one pair of rooks, one queen is off the board. Now this is an inaccuracy they made. Here we should have taken in the center, because now there is no defenders in the center, and we just start destroying the center completely. It does happen. So he moves back, I then capture in the center, because I win a tempo attacking his bishop. After this move, we develop out, kind of try to get back on to attacking the center square and winning another tempo attacking his bishop. He attacks our knight, we just defend it, get another piece out in the game that hasn't moved yet. Now this, it looks almost like a natural move, but what if black just takes? Okay, so black takes, and now there's 2 pieces hanging. So the knight's hanging and the bishop's hanging. He takes the knight, again knight for knight, he's going to take the knight back. And now what happens, I still have 2 pieces hanging. Well, I'm only attacking 1, but it's not hanging because it's defended. So, what looks like the best move? The most natural move, probably, like, can you save your knight and the bishop? No, there's nowhere really to go. Well, you could go here, attack white's light squared bishop. If black takes, then you take, and it's light squared versus dark squared bishop, and you have a bit more pressure on both of these pawns. No, actually the best move in this position is to take the dark squared bishop. Why? Because, let's have a wee look at the computer line, because if white takes, we just snatch up the pawn that was defending. Now, if for example, white goes here and takes, we have got knight takes e5, and we take a pawn as well. So, in the exchange for the piece, whatever piece that he chooses to get, we are getting a pawn as well as the piece. So, like I said, we took the dark squared bishop, he decided to take the knight, then we get the other pawn, okay? And it would have been the same way where we would have got this pawn if he decided to take the dark squared bishop. So, getting his rook into the game, very simple move. We just go here and go for the wee fork on the 2 pawns. He tries to get in to create some counterplay. I'm like, that's not really a big concern. Let's just push the pawn. King's defending here, rook's defending here, and you're still under an immense amount of pressure. Now, he starts to push his pawn. Okay, trying to just do something. We take a pawn with tempo attacking his rook, so he needs to move his rook. He slides it over 1 square, but that's not going to do anything. It's not doing anything at all. So we just captured the other pawn. Now that was not the best move. The best move in this position was g6. Push here and to stop the pawn coming down any further, and also kind of blockade all of white's moves with his light squared bishop. And if we played g6 in this position, it would have stopped this move, because now this is a target, really heavy target for him. How do we stop that? By now playing g6. It says castle in his best. Computer wants the long castle in this position. What is this? That is mad. That's crazy. The fact that the computer wants that. So long castle. Say white goes here to attack the pawn. Okay, we chase. There we go, and then we chase him again. Like, like what's he gonna do? He needs to move his rook out of the game. Okay. Oh, but his rook's trapped. His rook is actually trapped. So if he goes up and we go takes, that's crazy. The rook is completely cut off by the king, cut off by the pawn and the bishop. Oh, that's nuts. So you have to see that here. You have to see the fact, if I castle, what's he going to do? He's going to go after the pawn. Does he have anywhere to go? No, but no, that's hard enough to see. But again, it's all quite normal stuff here. He starts to try to bring his king as his pawns can't really move if they're getting taken. We decide to give a check. We then come down with our bishop, win the pawn there, give another check just for good measure, and start marching our pawn down the board. It is a 60 move game. So here we're like, okay, we can go after this pawn. This pawn is on a light square, or promotion on a light square. So we don't have a bishop that can overly protect it. But what can we do? We can give a check. Not another check just yet. He gives us a check. And then we just walk our king up to safety. And now that he took with the light square bishop, it is pinned to the rook, so he can't move that at all. Especially with my king on a dark square, he can't even move it with a discovered check or anything, as they can't change colours. And we just start marching. Nice wee defensive move here was to give a check with a king, defending the rook through the king, as you see here. Okay, you give a check, defending the rook through the king so he can't take, and then we just continue to march. As soon as he moved his bishop, we tuck the rook, promote the rook, and get a nice wee checkmate. So that was a 91% accuracy game, which is, it's nuts. I couldn't believe it when I looked at it. I was like, this was a 91% game. Like, I swear I've had games like this plenty of times, and especially going into the end game, getting an accuracy like that too. This, well, apart from this move, this pawn push really threw me off. It made no sense at all. Capturing the right pieces at the right time can be sometimes difficult, and come down to a time scramble. We both actually have kind of even time, and then it's a lot easier for me to make moves than it is for him. So here, I think whenever I got the promotion, I just like started to pre-move everything. Yeah, so 29 seconds, 30 seconds, 31. Yeah, spent less than a second on each move. Chess.com give our opponent a 1200 estimated rating and give us 1500 as an 871 at the time of playing this game. It was crazy. Let's say you really outplayed your opponent in that one. You played the opening well, but your opponent was on another level. So apparently your opponent played a better opening than we did. Okay, it was well fought in the middle game that you got the better of. Your accurate endgame play outshined your opponent. So our opponent got a great for the opening. We got a great for, what was that, the middle game and end game? Yeah, we got a great for the middle game and end game, and an excellent for the opening. I don't really know how our opponent had the better opening. Like, when's the opening? When's the opening finish? Is this the end of the opening? I guess that's the end of the opening, probably. It had to be, because this is the only point that he has the advantage. This is the last move that he has the advantage. And then after that pawn push, that's it. Let's see what the computer says. B3, bishop E3. Yeah, so that's quite common, and that's why you would bring the knight out here sometimes to attack the dark square bishop and remove a defender of this. So we would takes back, and you know, you've got I can't even speak. No, but it was good. It was a good game. I enjoyed that. That's just one 91% accuracy as an 800 elo. It was just, I couldn't believe it. You know, one of them games where you see 90% and you're like, was I cheating? Did I cheat that game? I don't know. Couldn't tell. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for sticking around. I am sorry for not uploading as much as I usually do, but I do hope you enjoyed, and have a good day.